So how do you see this? Because it does seem like maybe by the time your Super Bowl comes around, I'm not sure I'd be surprised if you and Troy aren't mentioning right before kickoff what the spread is or what the over-under is or what the biggest prop bet is.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it'll happen at some point, but I know the league is very anti it at the moment because I remember my last year at Fox, we were talking about Fox Bet, and now I'm at ESPN, and they have ESPN Bet, and I remember saying in our seminar, I said, "So we're good now." Like to say, since there's Fox Bet and there's legalized gambling, I said, we're good now. I asked this to Eric and Zager and whoever else was at the front of the room. If I reference like, hey, the spread is 3 and this makes it a 3.5 point game, whatever, this gets them over the spread or whatever. And it was kind of like, yeah, I mean, I guess. And then I did it early in the year. I mentioned the spread or I mentioned the favorite or whatever. And then it came back to me, don't do that. So all I can tell you is I'm with you that it feels like we're trending there. And maybe 3 years from now, I'm with you. I would not be surprised if it was okay for me to say. It's even on my monitor. With my stats monitor, like the over under and the spread, I guess the last spread, but I've never said it. I've never referenced it. We all know Al does it from time to time, kind of in a funny way, like, oh, there are a lot of people paying attention to this extra point or what, this isn't meaningless football right here, like that kind of stuff. But I until somebody says, go talk about the spread before the kickoff in Super Bowl 61, I'm not touching that stuff.
I think that's wise. Yeah, I want Al to keep going forever. I'm not.
Me too.
I
mean, he and I have become better and better friends as the years have gone on. I just saw him a month ago out in LA. He is amazing and is just great at what he does. And he's that guy that when his voice is on your TV, it hits your ear in a way that goes, oh, this is something I got to watch. And, there are very few of those.
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't sort of give in sometimes the social media sentiment and stuff, but like the reality is, and you know this, if the game is great or if you get an all-time game, you people will be like, oh, Joe and Troy were awesome. Like a lot of it is just like, if the game is great, like the broadcast is remembered as a great broadcast. If you're dealing with a 40-16 game in the fourth quarter, I'm like, there's only so much David Copperfield you can do, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I learned that early in my career where I was like, oh my God, Tim McCarr and I, we had a great game and Tim was predicting stuff and I had 2 great home run calls and it was 8-1 and nobody ever even mentioned that the game was played after that. And, right. Then you get 7-6 and bases clearing double to win the game in the bottom of the 9th inning. It was like, oh my God, you guys were amazing. It's like, not really. But if you think so, then go ahead.